Right. I want to start off by saying Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai, Call Halal Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakah Kwadash. Double honors to the apostles of GMS, Great Millstone, who rule well and who taught me this truth. And shalom to you, sincere Akim, out there listening, learning, and pushing this truth. And shalom to the few sincere Akwath that are out there listening and learning as well. With that being said, I'm going to jump straight into this video. I don't want to ratazah to be edifying. As usual, I'm going to go in the Rakah Kwadash. And I saw this this popped up in my news feed, and a couple thoughts came to mind. The first thought that came to mind, obviously, was Revelation 18. All right, Revelation 18, which I'm going to go through, and a couple other scriptures. But as you can see, this is from the first post. I'm not going to play it. I don't like to get copyright stricken, but I'm going to read a little bit of the description. So this is from the first post, and as you can see on the thumbnail, it says China's economy slips into deflation. China's economy slips into deflation. The video is entitled China's economy slides into deflation as domestic demands falls. So let's read a little bit of the description. It says China's economy slides into deflation as domestic demands falls. China's economy has fallen into deflation for the first time 2 years as domestic demands falls. It should say for the first time in 2 years. And Salakia, what do we know happened within the last 2 years? The pandemic, all right? And what I was thinking about was really why I wanted to do the lesson was they're claiming China's economy is in a deflating, it's slipping, it's falling, and I was thinking, hey, they ain't seen nothing yet. Wait till this place is completely destroyed. America, Babylon the Great. This whore is burnt with fire, as it says, in 1 hour. So great riches are going to come to naught. All right? That's when these nations, especially like China, Moab, Asia, thou wretch, Moab is really going to mourn. Why? Because no man, as I'm going to bring out, buyeth their merchandise. That's why, they're slipping, they're falling, they're deflating. And that shows you, like I always say, this is a global thing. This is a global collapse, just as the pandemic was global. This is a global thing. They have to collapse this current economy, this current fiat fiscal system, paper money, so that they can usher in this digital system, And who's the number one consumer nation? America, Babylon the Great. What happened within the last 2 years in Babylon? These Babylonians were given stimulus packages. And what did they do with their stimulus packages? They consumed as they always do. They bought up a bunch of goods that they couldn't afford. Amazon was through the roof, and a lot of those goods that you buy off of Amazon, you go to Wish, all those websites, where do they come from? Majority of these goods come from China. China makes a lot of its money off of exporting, foods, drugs, all type of things, And who does the number one consuming? You Babylonians. But this shows you the health of the world. The world is in dire straits, man. The world is in a bad case. That's why there was a lot of protesting and striking, rioting in France, all throughout Europe, all up in Canada, because the people are tired of being oppressed. Ends are meeting, and we know this is all by design. Ultimately, the Hegelian dialect: pressure from above, pressure from below. But like I said, enough of me ranting. Like I said, this just brought to mind Revelation 18. Hey, they ain't seen nothing yet. You ain't seen nothing yet. You know, it's gonna be no work for Egypt, but it ain't gonna be no work in none of these nations, man. You know, the only thing that's gonna keep these nations going is the war front, the war effort. You know, that's what's gonna motivate all these nations. War, the third's woe, making artillery, making, you know, making goods for the war. You know. So let me read this, close this out, and then I'll go to the scriptures. So again, it says China's economy has fallen into deflation for the first time 2 years. Again, it should say in 2 years, as domestic demand falls. Consumer pricing has fallen along with producer prices. Wages too have stagnated. Chinese policymakers have announced new measures. However, investors say that more policies are needed to boost China's economy. And it ain't coming back. Because America, Babylon the Great, is the lifeline of that place, man. You know? You know? And this bitch is through. Babylon is falling. You know? You can't heal Babylon. There is no balm for her. You know? So again, you know, this article, you know, triggered, you know, Revelation 18 came to mind. You know? Main point is in 17. For in 1 hour, Revelation 18, I'm going to start at the top. But, you know, this is the main point that I was thinking about. For in 1 hour, so Revelation 18 and 17, for in 1 hour, so great riches is come to naught. And every shipmaster and all the company in ships and sailors and as many as trade by sea stood afar off and cried when they saw the smoke of her burning. Of what smoke? America being destroyed. The lake of fire. America being completely laid desolate. Why? Because America's enemies, these BRICS nations, chiefly Russia, Gog and Magog, Moab, you know, Ethiopia, Persia, Libya, as it tells you, these BRICS nations that are lining up, and America's allies are going to turn upon her. Her enemies and her allies are going to turn upon her and rain missiles on this bitch, you know. And why? Because Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai is going to put it in their heart, in their minds, to judge this place. That's the ultimate judgment. That's Judgment Day that Sarah Connor saw. Okay, which I'm gonna come back to this. You know, let's go to the top of Revelation 18. Run through it. Revelation 18 and 1. And after these things, I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was lightened with his glory. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the Great is fallen, which we know that's talking about America. All right. And it's a future prophecy, which we see it coming to pass as we speak. And it's become the habitation of devils, and the hole of every foul spirit, and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird. Yeah, owls, satyrs, you know, scorpions, you know, desert creatures. That's the only thing that's going to reside here in America, Babylon the Great, after this bitch is rocked by thermonuclear destruction. The line of confusion is going to be put out. Okay, you're not going to be able to tell Florida from Texas, from Utah, you know, from New York to Michigan to Cali. You ain't going to. It's going to be one great big desert. Okay, the Forbidden Zone, as Charlton Heston saw. And what's going to do that? ICBMs, intercontinental ballistic missiles. That's what Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai has in store for this goddamn wicked ass nation. You know? God bless America. God hates America, and he's going to destroy it off the face of the earth. Thus saith the scriptures. And he cried mightily, and that day is quickly approaching. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the Great is fallen, and has become the habitation of devils, and the hole of every foul spirit, and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird. For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her. Yeah, they all took part. They went to bed with her. They laid down with this whore. Okay, you know, all took part in her ideologies and her philosophies, her wayward ways. You know, democracy, that alternative lifestyle, feminism, all the wickedness that this place is about, being oppressed, and they all followed suit, man, for all nations have drunken, especially China, Moab. You heard Carl Schwab. Carl Schwab said China is the perfect model, for this NWO. You see, they got everything is pretty much cashless over there already. They got the social caste system. The people are completely oppressed. That's Esau Edom's wet dream over there. So it says, for all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich. China's a merchant country, a merchant nation. They make most of their money through exporting goods, again. And the merchants of the earth, and a lot of those Asian nations, India, all them Asian nations, that's what they chiefly get rich off of exporting their goods, chiefly to who? America, Babylon the Great. For all nations have drunk, and that's why they they allow America to do what they do for the bag, which the scriptures tell you that they all gave consent unto her. I think that's Revelation 17, right? Let's see, Salakia. Yeah, I might as well bring it out. It's Revelation 17, straight to the point. It's 16. The main point is 16 and 17. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore. That's America's allies, Babylon the Great's allies, right? Shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. Even her mother, England, the UK, your mother shall be sore confounded of you. Even your mother's going to turn against you. All your allies are going to turn against you. As you see, it's already happening. Saudi Arabia, one of your chief allies is turning against you, reneging on that petro deal, And so, like I said, your allies and your enemies are going to rain missiles on your head. For Yahweh have put, why? Because of this. For Yahweh, it's the will of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. For Yahweh have put in their hearts, your heart is your mind, your lob, to fulfill his will, and to agree, and to give their kingdom unto the beast until the words of Yahweh shall be fulfilled. Right? So they're agreeing, hey, they that ate that bread have laid a deadly wound. They deceived you, man. And the woman which thou sawest is that great city which reigneth over the kings of the earth. What city is that? America, Babylon the Great. But America's losing its hegemony. America's through. This bitch is through. So going back to Revelation 18, it says 18 and 3. For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich. Prime example, Moab, China, through the abundance of her delicacies. Hey, all we do is consume over here. We gotta have it, man. The newest and greatest, the newest iPhone, the newest gaming device, the newest this, the newest that. All we do is consume. The number one consumers, man, And I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people, Yasharallah, right? The elect of Israel, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues. For her sins, her wickedness, right? For her sins have reached unto heaven, and Yahweh hath remembered her iniquities. Reward her even as she rewarded you. Yeah, how was this place established? How was America the Great built? Upon the backs of you tribes, you so-called Negroes, West Indians, Haitians, Latinos, Hispanics, North Americans, Seminole Indians. Woe to the bloody city. This is that bloody city. It is all full of lies and deceit, robbery, oppression. The time of judgment is quickly approaching. It says, reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her, double according to her works. In the cup which she hath filled, fill to her double. How much she hath glorified herself and lived deliciously. Yeah, these Americans, these Babylonians are careless. So much torment and sorrow give to her. So much torment and sorrow give to her. For she saith in her heart, I sit a queen, and am no widow, and shall see no sorrow. Yeah, they think they ain't never gonna go down. You know? Hey, they so proud. They got sayings like the South shall rise again. You know, that's how proud these Edomites are, these Babylonians. You know? Because America is known as what? Nineveh, Assyria, Mystery Babylon, Idumea, you know, Basra, you know, the daughter of the Chaldeans, you know, you know, and they're proud, man. They're proud. They don't think this bitch will ever go down, but they're sadly mistaken. It's fallen as we speak. Therefore shall her plagues come in one day. Yahweh Bashim Yahushai said he shall plague Egypt as before, and he's doing it, but you ain't seen nothing yet. Therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire, thermonuclear destruction, ICBMs. For strong is the Lord Adawan, for strong is the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, who judgeth her. And the kings of the earth who have committed fornication and lived deliciously with her shall bewail her. Yeah, they're all in cahoots for the bag. All right, it tells you that in what Psalms 83. They're confederate. You know, it says, and the kings of the earth who have committed fornication and lived deliciously with her shall bewail her and lament for her when they shall see the smoke of her burning, standing afar off for fear of her torment, saying, Alas, alas, that great city Babylon, that mighty city, for in 1 hour is thy judgment come. It's only going to take 1 hour to destroy this place. And the merchants of the earth shall weep and mourn over her, for no man buyeth their merchandise anymore. Going back to this article here, this video, you know, China's economy slides into deflation. They ain't seen nothing yet. They're going to mourn, you know, when this bitch really goes down. Okay? And the merchants of the earth shall weep and mourn over her, for no man buyeth their merchandise anymore. The merchandise of gold and silver and precious stones, and of pearls and of fine linen, and purple and silk and scarlet, you know, so on and so forth. I'm going to skip down to 13. And cinnamon, and odors and ointments and frankincense, and wine and oil. I want to hit 13, you know, it says, and fine flour and wheat and beast and sheep and horses and chariots and slaves. That's the main point. And slaves and souls of men. You see? That's the point. That's this place, Babylon the Great. You know, they got rich here. All these nations got rich here. Chiefly off these tribes, man. It says the dogs licked our wounds. You know? Let's jump down. I read 6. I'll keep reading. It says, 14, and the fruits that thy soul lusted after are departed from thee, and all things which were dainty and goodly are departed from thee, and thou shalt find them no more at all. The merchants of these things which were made rich by her shall stand afar off for the fear of her torment, weeping and wailing, and saying, Alas, alas, that great city that was clothed in fine linen and purple and scarlet, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls. For in 1 hour so great riches is come to naught, and every shipmaster and all the company and ships and sailors, and as many as trade by sea, stood afar off, and cried when they saw the smoke of her burning, saying, What city is like unto this great city? You see? That's America, Babylon the Great. The number one consumer nation. Nobody consumes like these Babylonians. And that's how especially Asia, that's how they're rich. By, by us consuming their goods. You know? So it says, and they cast dust on their head, and cried, weeping and wailing, saying, Alas, alas, that great city wherein we were made rich, all that had ships in the sea by reason of her costliness, for in 1 hour she is made desolate. Rejoice over her, thou heaven, and ye holy apostles and prophets, for Yahweh hath avenged you on her. And that's the day that we're waiting on. For Yahweh Bashim Yahushai to recompense this devil. You know, he that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. All right? The patience, here is the patience and the faith of the saints. That's what we're waiting on. For Yahweh Bashim Yahushai to rise up to the prey. You know? And that day is quickly approaching. I'm going to close out here. You know, I pretty much hit the points, you know. Again, China's economy slides into deflation as domestic demand falls. All right? You know? And they ain't seen nothing yet. So, second Ezra 15, and I started at 46. And thou Asia, thou Asia, that are partaker of the hope of Babylon. Remember, Carl Schwab again said that China is the perfect model for this NWO, right? And that's chiefly how, part of the reason why Moab is so rich, you know, because they sell all their goods to Babylon, you know. And thou Asia, that are partaker of the hope of Babylon, and art the glory of her person, woe be unto thee. Woe means destruction, because they gonna get judged too, you know. You know, the main destruction is gonna be in America, Babylon the Great, and in the land of Palestine, the land of Israel. But these other nations gonna get touched too, man. You know, they gonna get rocked. They gonna get plagued, you know. But the main destruction is gonna be right here in Babylon the Great. So it says, woe be unto thee, thou wretch, because thou hast made thyself like unto her, and they're confederate with her. They gave consent unto the beast. Woe be unto thee, thou wretch, because thou hast made thyself like unto her, and hast decked thy daughters in whoredom, that they might please and glory in thy lovers. See, they committed fornication with her, which have always desired to commit whoredom with thee. Thou hast followed her that is hated, the whore, in all her works and inventions. You see, hey, what did Carl Schwab say? They're the perfect model. Therefore saith Yahweh, I will send plagues upon thee, widowhood, poverty, famine, sword, and pestilence, to waste thy houses with destruction and death. All right, because this is a global thing. This is a global collapse. All right, and hey, man, it's happening as we speak, baby. This place is through. These people are through. All right. So with that being said, I don't want to Ratazah. This made sense and it came together. Hey, keep pushing, keep fighting. We're close. Shalom. Wa abad babal. Kwam Nisharallah.